Hey everybody, welcome back to Over Here We Craft Money. I'm DJ, and in today's video, I am going to be showing you step by step how I made this beautiful Beach Please rhinestone t-shirt. Now, if you saw my previous video, then you know this shirt is our companion piece to our Beach Please summer tumbler. This method included sublimation, rhinestone, faux ice, and faux fruit. And I listed it when I posted the video as a beginner friendly project. And I had a subscriber send me a communication that said, DJ, if you consider a tumbler with that many methods a beginner friendly project, I hate to see what you think is difficult. And that really made me have to stop and take a beat because you know what? She was right. Maybe I shouldn't have called that beginner friendly because when I first started learning how to do those techniques, they were not the first step of things that you learn. They were actually, built from doing different methods, practicing, and then kind of putting them all together. And so I thought about that and said, one of the things that I want to make sure that our community does over here on our channel is that there is something for everyone and that you can pop in and find a video at the stage and pace that you're at and still get value out of that. And so I thought about that and said, okay, you know what? There is absolutely nothing wrong with going back to building our fundamentals because everybody has to start there and everybody has to have that first, how do I get started? And I don't want something that's so complicated that it intimidates me and then I never want to try it again because crafting is about creativity and fun and you shouldn't be scared of it. So in this video, we're making this. This is a 2-word rhinestone shirt. Very, very easy to make. No kidding, y'all. This one truly is beginner friendly. And in the video, I'm going to tell you step by step where I got it from, how you can get it yourself, step by step how to set it up in Cricut Design Space to cut the template for you, and then all of the supplies that you're going to need if you want to replicate this shirt and have your own Beach Please rhinestone shirt. At the end, I am going to pop back on and give you guys my final thoughts, and of course, we're going to talk pricing because I know y'all stay to the end of the video because y'all want to know what should you charge if you decide that you want to sell this in your small business or your Etsy shop or what have you. So let's go ahead and jump in with the supplies. All right, so for today's project, you are going to need a t-shirt. I'm using a 100% cotton Gildan soft style shirt. Today's design, which we'll get to in a moment, you're going to need hot fix rhinestones, SS10 is the size, and then you're going to need rhinestone flock paper, rhinestone transfer tape, a rhinestone picker tool. You're going to need a heat conductor or heat press that can get up to at least 340 degrees, and a paint edger brush, which will help you brush your rhinestones in easily. All right, so we are in Creative Fabrica and we did a search for rhinestone templates. And guys, they have over 8,000 templates for rhinestones that you can use. This first one I'm showing you is just to give you an idea of all the versions that you're going to get when you do it. You're going to get a JPEG, PNG, and an SVG. It's letting you know that it's a 10 by 10, so you know the size that the image needs to come into Cricut in order to cut the stone sizes the way you need it. You get commercial rights usage here. So I'm showing you that I'm going to save it in my favorites. Click download, save it over in my folder. And it's literally just that simple. Now we're going to come on back and we're going to find what we're actually looking for. And we are looking for a simple shirt that we can download the design. They've got so many to choose from, guys. Dog lovers. I mean, you could just build a whole rhinestone t-shirt business just off of this. You can take a bundle of moms and make all kinds of t-shirts for Mother's Day, birthdays. It's crazy. Now, because you have commercial rights use, if you have your subscription, you can take a couple of different rhinestone designs, blend them together, and create a unique rhinestone pattern that you can make and sell. Now, be mindful, you have use of the template. You can't download it and then resell the template. You can't take Anointed with the Bible, put that together, and then sell that because two different artists own each of those. And what they're giving you commercial rights to use is the template to reproduce shirts. So just be very careful. And if you're not sure what I'm talking about, that's called copyright infringement. And I made a video about it recently. All right. But they've got so many nice ones, spiritual ones, but that's not what we're here for. We are looking for a easy shirt that can be a companion piece for our summertime era. And look what we found. Beach Please. Now, you know, we fell in love with that when we made our tumblers. So that is the shirt that we are making today. Again, we get all of the versions of the shirt and it's letting us know it's an SS10 design and it's giving us our dimensions of a 9.95 by 6.68. So this is perfect for us because we know everything we're going to need when we move it over into Cricut. Download and save and bring that baby on over because we about to be cute, cute. All right, we are in Cricut Design Space and we're going to bring our image over. Now, we know what the size was when we were in Creative Fabrica, but one of the things that I like about this design is that it brought it over as a 10 by 10, and that meant we didn't have to figure out the holes once we brought it over here. They're already perfectly sized. So we're going to go ahead and name this so that I don't lose it, right? Just in case someone sees it and wants to order it. And we definitely want to make that a possibility for people. Or if we want to make more of these once people see me in my shirt. So once we have it over here and it's saved, the one thing I'm realizing, even though it came in as a 10 by 10, that's a lot of extra flock that we would be cutting and wasting, and we don't want to do that. So the first thing I need to do, and this is personal preference, is I need to change it to a color that's not so difficult on my eyes to watch on the screen. And it's just hard for me to stare at it in black. So I just went with bright blue because I could see it. So the first thing that we're going to need to do is get rid of some of that extra space at the top and at the bottom without disturbing the holes that are there for us to be able to use. So we have our image, but now we need to clean it up just a little bit. Why? Because if we don't, it's going to do this. And I want to show you this because this is what happened. And I want to share with you so that if it happened to you, you won't be shocked. Look at all those dots off to the side. And it put it on two different cutting mats, which we know we must have done something wrong. So we're going to go ahead and cancel that cut and take ourselves back over here to figure it out. And I realized that when the image came in, it came in with the outside and the circles on the inside. So I have to drag my mouse over it, click on the button in the bottom right hand, and click subtract. That way, it's going to take out the little circles, leaving space for our rhinestones to brush into. And you'll know that you did it right because it's going to take it and turn it just like that. The circles are gone. You should see the back of the design space mat, and now you're ready to make it. It is combined and ready to be cut. I'm checking sizing here and realizing, ugh, I don't want to waste all of that space. We could be using that flock for something else. So we're going to cancel the cut one more time. And we're going to get rid of some of that extra flock and save ourselves some headache. So we're going to go over to the left and get us a shape to get rid of that top. And we're going to get rid of that bottom without disturbing the rhinestone circles. So we will click on shape. Just snatch up any shape. I'm going to grab myself the rectangle, bring that over to the mat, get rid of it. The update is going to want to show me what else it could do for me. We don't need it. I'm going to bring it over. I am going to unlock it so that I can stretch it out. And I'm going to bring it all the way across. Make sure it's covering the whole blue box. Drag my mouse over both of the images and I'm going to slice. Once it blinks at me and lets me know it's done, like that, then we can click on all the pieces, separate them from our image, and delete them because we don't need them once we've done. Somehow I duplicated it twice. I don't know how I did it. Go ahead and get rid of that. And now we're going to do the same to the bottom half. Get us another rectangle, drag our mouse over both of our images and slice it out. Wait for it to blink at us. And delete the parts we don't need. Now we won't be wasting all of our good flock. And our image stays the same dimensions that it came in at. And now we can make it. It's going to come over on one mat. We do not want to mirror this because we're brushing rhinestones into it. We already have our machine set up for rhinestone uh, cut. That is one of the browse materials that you're going to have to set up. I'm just doing a once over to make sure none of the dots are connected, and they are not. And again, as we get, more complicated rhinestone projects, I'll show you the difference and why it's important to make sure that they are not touching. But in this case, all of the ones that come in from Creative Fabrica are sized and cut perfectly as long as you know which stones you're going to be using for the project. Like this wouldn't have worked if the stones were SS6s. This only works if they're SS10s. So now we're going to connect to our Air Explorer 2. That is the Cricut machine that I have. And once it finds it through the Bluetooth connection, that may take a minute depending on your machine and your Wi-Fi. It has found it, so I'm going to go and click on one of my favorites that I've already saved, my SS10 rhinestone, so that it knows what to do. We're now at our Cricut machine. We've laid our flock down on a standard grip mat. That's the green mat. It is starting to cut the circles for us. And we've already sharpened our tool, made sure that we didn't have any previous rhinestone dots on the cutter part of the blade because that will mess up and distort your cuts. You don't want that. Some people leave the carrier sheet on it and let it cut that way. I do not do that. I put my flock directly on my mat so that I don't have any worries about it pulling up or snagging. And everybody's machine is different. So make sure you calibrate your machine and make sure that you know if your machine is going to need to cut it twice or put heavier pressure and that sort of thing. And you can always do trial and error with that. With a small little design like a heart or something, you don't have to waste your flock cutting a big design like this only to find out that there was something wrong with the blade. Definitely want to make sure that you do all of the pre-prep work to your machine first. All right, so now we're at the table and we're going to brush in our stones. So I couldn't decide which color of stones I wanted to make my shirt out of. And since I do plan to wear it quite a bit this summer, I decided to make two versions. So first I'm going to do the beautiful turquoise stones that match the sea foam of the cup and go ahead and brush that in. I do love brushing in rhinestones. I got a nice, great cut from the machine, so there was no holes left. And now it's just about brushing the stones in. I must admit, I'm getting a little irritated with this little brush, and I ordered a larger one off of Amazon, so I cannot wait till it gets here next week. But the blue is looking really good. It's going to look really good on my white shirt because I know that's what I'm going to put it on. And when I'm brushing in with this little smaller brush, it does irritate me because it leaves a couple of the holes there, and I have to go back in and place them one by one, which I will do with my picker tool. I do have that picker tool listed in the description of the video under supplies that I love. And Amazon Prime days are coming. So you might want to pick that up if you're planning on becoming a rhinestoner, because you will definitely need it. So we're just going to go ahead and continue to speed this up and place those stones in where they are missing. And then that first template will be ready to be placed on a shirt. The one you saw me in the beginning of the video. So we're brushing in our chocolate stones. And I do love brown. It's so pretty. Chocolate is so cute. So we're just going to brush this in. And again, the great thing about this type of a project is once you cut the stones, once you cut the flock, you have that template forever. I can make beach please shirts from now until the cows come home. And the cost of that flock will have more than paid for itself. You guys have to let me know in the comments if you make this, how your project turns out. All right, let's head on over to the heat press. We've pre-pressed our shirt to get that moisture out. And as I said, I'm using a 100% Gildan cotton soft style V-neck women's cut shirt. My goodness, say that 3 times. Anyway, I am using my ruler just to make sure that it is centered the way that I want. And we're going to go ahead and press that at 340 degrees for 20 seconds. That's what my heat press needs. You must check the directions on yours to make sure that you don't burn it. I like to flip my shirt inside out and make sure I give it another quick 10 seconds. And that's all it takes. I'm going to flip it back and peel the protective carrier sheet off. And we are left with a beautiful chocolate Beach Please t-shirt that matches our beautiful tumbler. Yay! All right, so final thoughts on this project. She cute, cute. You already know. She cute. She cute, she cute, she cute. And I am going to rock this little shirt all summer long, along with my tumbler, honey, because I'm going to be going to the beach. I'm committed to going to the beach. But let's talk about final thoughts. Again, I don't get compensated, though I would love to, by Creative Fabrica. But as you can see, paying for a yearly subscription will more than pay for itself. There are over 8,000 rhinestone templates that you can use, commercial rights, connect them together, blend some of those things together, and make your own unique designs without having to have a silhouette business edition, which is what you need when you need to convert something into a rhinestone pattern. Now, I'm not saying we're not going to get there because, for example, my first name is Delcina, and I'm never going to log into Creative Fabrica and find a template that has my name, right? But if I want to make that and I have a certain way that I want to make it, I am going to eventually have to learn how to convert an image into a rhinestone pattern myself. And I promise we will get there. There are hundreds of people on YouTube that can teach you how to do that. One of the greatest ones that I even myself follow is Craftable Things with Patrice. She is amazing with rhinestones. So she's the GOAT. And if you want to learn that, I definitely suggest you subscribe to her channel because I'm a subscriber and I've learned so much from her. But until you get there, right? Until you get you're off the training wheels and you're ready to jump into rhinestone, and being able to take a design like the one we found in Creative Fabrica and create this takes all of the anxiety and stress away. So let's talk about pricing, and this is in general, not for this shirt in particular, but this is just in general. For me, when you think about the quality of the rhinestones that you want to provide on your shirts for your customers, you want to make sure that you are getting a quality rhinestone. So there's a couple that I would recommend just because I've used them over the years and I've never had a shirt come back. When I don't get them from my one vendor overseas that I've been working with for a while, I will use the Rhinestone World. I will use the Baby's Booty. I will also use Be Createful. Very quality rhinestones, beautiful colors, beautiful selection, great turnaround times. And so when you think about that, you want to take that into account as far as how you will land at your pricing. Now, whether or not you're making your template, that also will include if you're going to add some additional dollars to your bottom line price, because you might say, hey, well, I didn't have to sit there for 3 hours to create this design and move those rhinestones individually myself. I got them off of a shortcut platform for myself, so I'm going to pass that hookup on to my customers. Only you know how you feel about that, and I'm never going to tell you how to run your business. What I will tell you is anytime I touch rhinestones for an apparel item, when it comes to like shirts and sweatshirts and like that, and really shirts because the sweatshirts are even higher, I don't make any of my shirts for less than $40. Right? And when I first started, they were 35, but hey, yesterday's prices are not today's prices. Now, depending on if I'm doing something in a bulk pricing, I may do something for folks, right? But I never try to take away from the quality of my item that I'm producing. And so if I'm going to give them some sort of a discount or hookup, it's usually around the shipping of it, because my price is my price for my items, right? So for me, when I'm doing rhinestones, and that's a little bit more of a luxe look over a basic t-shirt, $40 and up is what we're talking about. And I would tell you do your own research, because your market might be able to bear a minimum even higher than that. But you don't want to be making a rhinestone t-shirt for the same price that you would want to charge someone for a screen printed t-shirt. Trust me, your competitors are not doing that. And if they are, they're not making any money. And unless you're solely into this just for crafting sake, to donate and give away, which is no judgment, that's cool. But if you're in it to make side hustle money, supplemental income for you and your family, you don't want to make your prices so low where you have no net revenue for yourself at the end of that. So I say nothing less than $40. And if they start wanting even more and stuff on the back and all of that, guess what? It goes up from there. Well, that is the basis of this particular video. I hope you found it helpful. I hope it was a lot more beginner friendly than some of the other ones that I've done. And I promise to be more mindful of some of the things that we need to do that are fundamentals of crafting, that we build into those things that we will eventually want to sell. I'm probably going to do a couple more summertime items coming up, because I'm also in the crafting group, Crafting with Zalonda. Love her too. She's another OG great, right? But she did a challenge in her Facebook group that I'm a part of that asked, what era are you in? And baby, I am in my summertime era, because my birthday is coming up. It's in July, and there's a couple more items that I have in mind that I want to make. I might put some of these on my Etsy shop for sale. I don't know yet. But we are in our summertime era, so you're probably going to see some other things coming with summertime related, or either Leo, which is my zodiac sign. So stay tuned for that. But truly, I hope that you found the video helpful. I hope it's fun. If you haven't already checked out my beginner friendly, not so beginner friendly Tumblr video, and you want to know how I made this and all the supplies you need, please check that out. And if you want to see another, or what kicked off our in our summertime era series, I made this cute little summer tote bag that I use when I go to the grocery stores or when I'm just running errands out on the daytime. It was super easy to make, and so check that out if you get an opportunity. And until my next video, when I am back here with you guys, take care of yourself. Make sure that you like and give this video a thumbs up. And more importantly, please make sure to share it with another crafter that is looking to increase their income, because crafting is fun, but it's a whole lot better when we can add some money to it. So until my next video, bye everybody.